Hello everybody, my name is Pooks and welcome back to the latest installment of the Pooks cast. Today I am joined with Rec Room YouTuber and quester Boethiah. I'm very glad to have him on the show today.
Yeah man, thanks for having me.
Now, as always, we're going to head on over to Discord to see what you have asked us and your questions, so just gonna jump right into it. Off to Discord. Over on Discord, our first question comes from user BTS1707. They ask, what VR headsets are the best for working long hours on or to have fun with? I'm gonna throw this one over to Bo to start off.
Oh yeah. So in my opinion, as far as endurance goes, if you're going to be in VR for the longest time, I highly suggest the Oculus just because it's lighter than the other headsets on the market. Obviously, I think Index is probably the best one on the market, but it's like twice as expensive. So, I mean, Oculus is always my go-to.
Personally, I prefer the original Rift, the Rift CV1 for endurance, rather than my Rift S. Mainly because my Rift S, the Halo strap can get annoying and it's kind of heavy, weight all around your head, and also my Rift S really hasn't withstood the test of time. It's only about less than a year old and all the foam has already fallen off it. So I do feel that the design of the original Rift is a lot lighter, more comfortable on the head with the Velcro straps. Yeah, I don't have much experience with any other types of headsets, but in terms of the two Rifts, I would definitely use the CV1 that I have for longer periods of time. My opinion.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I'm on, the CV1. I've never tried the Rift S, but I do have a Quest, and it's a lot bulkier, it's a lot more uncomfortable. I wouldn't want to spend 3 or 4 hours at a time.
Yeah. Now, the Quest and the Rift S do have slightly different head attachments. I think the Quest still has Velcro on all sides. I don't think the Quest has the plastic strap like the PlayStation VR does.
No, yeah, it's the Velcro.
Yeah. No, I do prefer the Velcro design, but the Quest does have the bulkiness of the Rift S because they both use the same inside-out tracking. But yeah, so CV1 is what we're saying. Okay, moving on. Our next question comes from Mr. E13 over on Discord. They ask, how do you feel about big Rec Room YouTubers getting swarmed in rooms? Now, having Bo here, this is a good question because I know this has happened to him quite often. So I'm going to get his opinion on this question.
So that one, I have mixed emotions on because at one end, I think it's insanely cool that many people actually want to be around me. I was never like the popular kid, so like this is a completely new world for me. So it's really, really cool in that sense. But on the other end, it gets so hectic. And there's so many voices going that you can't concentrate on any one person, and so you just feel like everybody's getting ignored. And so I kind of feel bad on that end. But I mean, it is a really cool experience that many people just want to say hi to you, man. It's insane.
Yeah. Personally, since I'm not nearly as popular, it doesn't happen to me nearly as often as you, but I can see if there's a crowd of people that happen to recognize me from YouTube or somewhere. Mainly now I'm getting recognized from videos I've done with SoulFox. People are starting to crowd around me because of that. Yeah, I understand everything gets jumbled and there's just a bunch of people around you all trying to high-five you and it just get a little bit of contact with you, so I can see how people would get missed and you would feel that way, especially when the crowds that surround you get going.
Yeah, it's like everybody's trying to talk over every other person, and so it's just like everybody's words get lost sometimes. So I feel bad, but it's a really cool experience at the same time.
Yeah, I agree on that one. I'm always very flattered when somebody's like, "Oh, I know you're from YouTube," and I'm like, "Oh, wow."
Yeah, right, exactly.
I never thought anyone would ever come up to me and be like, "Oh, I recognize you." But no, it doesn't happen to me nearly as much as happens to you, so. Yep. Well, off we go. Our next question comes in from Werewolf. They ask, what is your most memorable moments that you've had in VR? Now, I have talked about this on this show before, but I can restate them, but since Bo has not talked about them yet, I will throw this one again over to him first.
Well, I appreciate it. So Two moments come to my mind pretty much immediately, and the number one would probably be the speed run that I did with Rocco, Castle, and NNNB. Not only because it was just such a good run, it was just so much fun. We had been practicing that run for a while, and to finally hit where we had been trying so hard to get to was just it was like amazing. And then I think the second one would probably be being in the YouTuber Royale and being with all the Rec Room devs and all the other big Rec Room YouTubers. It was just one of the most awesome experiences that I've had in this game.
I know. I was invited. I'm very disappointed that I was busy that weekend. I would have liked to participate, but
Yeah.
maybe if they do another one, comment on the YouTube URL. Say you want another one, because I'll probably still be invited. So comment on that video. Maybe I'll put the link in the description if I'm not lazy, which I probably will be. But maybe look down there. Who knows? Anyways, in terms of my favorite moments in VR, actually, not many of them come from Rec Room. I have had a lot of fun and cool experiences from within Rec Room. But I think my most memorable moments did come from back when I first got my headset. And I had put the headset on for the first time, and I played Echo VR. Was the first game I ever installed, because Oculus was like, "You're a new player, we think this game would be good for you." And that first time when I'm in the lobby and I realize that if I grab something and fling myself that I fly, and there's that sense of motion and depth. It is nothing I'd ever experienced before in my life prepared me really for that scale. Just sitting at the time in my very small room, and I reach out and grab this floating bar and fling myself, and then I go 50, 60 feet forward in zero gravity. That still sticks out as one of the times that is my most memorable. And then I talked about this next one on Soulfox's podcast that I did, but I'll reiterate it here. Just recently, several months ago, got a game called Jet Island. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
I have not played that one. I think I've been told about it, but I haven't played it.
It is a very fun, open-world, physics motion-based combat game, where you've got grappling hooks and jetpacks, and you explore this huge open world. That's the main feature. They boast that their open world is enormous, and it is. The scale of the open world that you can travel to is huge. So, I've been playing the game for about 30, 40 minutes, and I'd managed to navigate myself to the top of the map because there's a bunch of floating islands. And I get to the top of the map, and I look down, and I'm not afraid of heights, and I don't really get motion sick or feel depth anything from that in VR, but I'm on the top of this floating island, on top of the tallest peak, and I look down at the several hundred kilometers from me to the floor below, and I get wobbly. My legs wobble because I feel that depth, and that moment sticks out as something big because I'd never experienced that really before in VR, and I'm like, just the sense of scale in that game. I highly recommend, if you have not tried Jet Island and you have PC VR, it's fairly inexpensive. It's made by an indie game developer who is quite active on Discord. You can communicate with him too. A wonderful game. Also has a great speedrunning community. I know that's kind of your thing. Anyways,
that sounds awesome. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh yeah, no. Wonderful, wonderful game. It's got, the motion is fluid, and your grappling hooks work just like they do. I don't know if you've ever played Spider-Man for the PS2, but that game's praised for having really good Spider-Man web swinging. Your webs catch on buildings, and you need to use physics. Well, in Jet Island, your grappling hooks wrap around things, and you can fling yourself using momentum. Just enough about the game, but it is just a really fun exploration game. Anyways, enough about that. Moving on to the next question. Next question comes from Vanilla on Discord. They ask, what do you think about people copying someone's outfit, or maybe even copying their name? Now, I know for larger Rec Room YouTubers like Bo, that is a problem. But I do see people running around in their outfit, as well as other YouTubers' outfits. But since I've just had some recent experience with this, I will comment first. Recently, really in the past 3 weeks, it started happening. I don't think I can join a rec center without somebody going up to me, checking my profile, and saying, is that the real Pooks? And I never thought that would be a problem. Because apparently, there's a string of about 10 to 15 people We're going around rec centers, using place-based mover and doing the stuff that I do in rec centers, trying to convince people that they're me. And in my head, I just can't fathom that people would want to copy me. So, and people copy you probably all the time too. So, there's something I never thought would happen. So,
Right.
What are your thoughts on all this copying stuff?
So, yeah, I mean, it's said that, like, imitation is, like, the greatest form of flattery and stuff. So I think it's really cool that people want to dress up and act like me, and I have absolutely no problem with that. The only time that I think it kind of crosses a line is when they try to convince other people that they're me and then do stuff that would give me a bad name. You know, I've had people go up to people and just be flat out rude, and they look like me, they have my name. And if they didn't know any better, you know, they might think that was actually me doing that, and then you know, just it kind of hurts. It tarnishes your name a little bit. But somebody's just running around dressed up like me and has my name, it really doesn't bother me. I think it's pretty neat.
Yeah, up until recently I hadn't given it any thought, but I think it's cool that people wear my outfit. Never thought that would really happen, so hey.
Yeah,
I'm flattered, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's really cool. Just as long as they're not going around being mean to people in my name.
So if you're wearing YouTubers' outfits or outfits of any other known people, use your head, be respectful. Moving on, we have a joint question. These two questions come from BTS1707 and Werewolf over on Discord. They ask, if there was going to be a new VR headset and you had a role in designing it, what would it look like? And then Werewolf adds, and what features would you like to give it? Now, I've given this question a bunch of thought, because I have some issues with the current headset I'm using, and a few issues already with the Index that I've ordered, because my Rift has some features that I want my Index to have, and my Index is going to have some features that I would like my Rift to have. It would be nice if I could mash the two together. Thinking about it, if I could design a VR headset, I'd like the option to have the Rift S's inside-out tracking. I like that feature, but I'd also like it to have the option to also use base stations to improve the tracking quality. So when I got my Rift S, I was really hoping that I could use my original Rift sensors to help get tracking behind my head, because with my Rift, if I put my hands behind my head, they don't really track real well, because of the inside-out tracking. So I'd like to see better forms of tracking, both with the inside-out and the base stations. I'd also like a good headset with portability and PC capability, so something a little more robust than the link cable, I'm thinking. Something that's a little more dedicated, has a solid, better attachment, and better transfer rate. So yeah, those are really all that I'm thinking. Another thing, quality of life. A headset with, how would I put this, easy, detachable head straps. Yeah, I think that's how you'd say that. Like right now my Rift S is using a Halo strap, and it's not the most comfortable in my opinion. Some people love the plastic Halo strap on the Rift S. Like I said before, I prefer the Velcro, so having the ability to take off the Halo strap and purchase from Oculus a Velcro attachment, that would be something I would like, so that customization would be nice. But yeah, if I was designing one, that's what I'd do. I know you were having a little issue thinking, but did you come up with anything that you'd do?
I mean, I think so. You touched on actually a lot of good things that I've thought about in the past. Being able to both have inside-out tracking and use base stations with it would be awesome. I mean, but if I was going to be building a whole new headset, I mean, my main priorities would be, just for me, I would want it to be lightweight like my Rift is. And I really don't like a lot of the controllers on the market. These CV1 controllers are amazing, but I'm not a huge fan of the Quest or the Vive. I haven't tried the Index. I'm interested to see those. But maybe if you could get some little gloves type exoskeleton things for your hands, I don't know. It might be cool.
If I
you can
did
actually
hear,
feel stuff.
if I did hear correctly, there was a tech company developing some form of glove that would work with Steam VR. I haven't checked on their progress. I did hear about this about 9 months ago. I saw an article pop up on Twitter. I don't know how that development's going, but yes, I'd love to see that pan out. have some sort of
that'd be
tactical
awesome.
gloves with sensors in them. Twiddle your fingers.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And then, of course, being able to balance more standalone headsets that work really well with PCs. Obviously, we're still in the very early stages of VR, so I'm excited to see where it goes from here, but something along those lines would be amazing.
Yeah. Yep, those are our thoughts. Before we end today's episode, I do want to talk about something that Bo did just do that caught my attention and I thought was wonderful. Just recently, he donated 2 Oculus Quests along with some games to his local St. Jude Hospital via a charity fundraiser that he just held through live streams. Now, for those of you who have watched some of my other things that I've made, some of you might remember that my first introduction to VR was in a children's hospital on a PSVR that had been donated thanks to charity work like Bo's live stream. So just wanted to mention that and ask what was the process of that and how did that go?
So it went really well. Originally we were hoping to hit $1,000 for 2 quests. We ended up with $1,110, so $110 more. And it was planned. We'd been wanting to do it for a long time. We're finally at a point where I think we could do it and make it work. And we had so many generous people donate and suffer through some ads just for a little extra ad revenue. So we took all the ad revenue, everything, put it into it. And we were able to give them 2 quests, a little bit of gear to go with the quest, and $200 for video games, and then, just kind of whatever else they could use the money for.
Yes. Wonderful work you did.
Thank you.
If you check in the description, I will have a link to, I believe, the video showcasing him dropping off the quests or something similar in the description. Go check that out, because I just think that's wonderful what you did. I highly support that. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. We had a lot of fun doing it.
And that brings us to the end of this installment of the Pooks cast. I would like to give the biggest thank you to Boethiah for coming on and helping me out host this episode. I had a blast working with you.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. Thanks for having me, dude.
I'd also like to thank all of you who watch my videos and submit questions. Sorry, I can't get to all the questions that are asked, but if you would like to submit your own questions, or if I didn't get your question, you can submit it again over on my Discord. All of that information is in the link. That link is in the description below. That's what I was trying to say. So, again, I'd like to thank Bo for being here. I'd like to thank you for doing all that liking, subscribing, all that fun, happy YouTube stuff that you people do. And Pooks, you're Boethiah. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye!